In today's show, we talk to eminent industry leaders from Saudia Dairy and Foodstuff Company, commonly known as SADAFCO, one of the biggest dairy companies in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. SADAFCO is a pioneer in the GCC dairy industry, driving quality excellence and tradition. With the rich heritage of dairy production spanning across decades, SADAFCO delivers premium dairy products every day through more than 3,500 sales routes. Its commitment to quality, sustainability, and community growth has helped SADAFCO cultivate an unbreakable bond with consumers. Joining us today is Diogo Victoria, the sales director of SADAFCO, and their CIO, Shrikanth Andali. Shrikanth is a distinguished technology leader with a track record of pioneering digital transformation for global retail businesses. A sought-after industry leader, Shrikanth orchestrates the seamless convergence of technology and business strategies to drive innovation and sustainable growth. Our second guest today, Diogo, is a recognized sales leader who has driven the sales and distribution engines of global dairy companies. With a reputation for fostering strong client relationships and inspiring cross-functional teams, Diogo brings an extensive background in crafting and executing innovative sales strategies that resonate with diverse market segments. Under Diogo's leadership, SADAFCO has embarked on an impactful digital transformation journey with Bizom, driven by his dedication to fostering a culture of collaboration and technological innovation within the organization. Welcome to the Bizom's podcast, Diogo and Shrikanth. It's great to have you here with us. We would like to hear the growth story of SADAFCO, how you have sustained till now, and what are your future plans for the next years, upcoming years. So, Diogo, I would like to start this conversation with you. How SADAFCO has managed to balance between the traditional dairy products and the emerging market demands with the upcoming generation in the Saudi Arabia. If you can share your thoughts on that.
Okay, good morning. Thank you to inviting us to be here. It's a pleasure to be able to share our thoughts and what we are building for the future. So, answer your question. So, we need to understand a little bit what is happening in Saudi Arabia, but the big changes is happening in the country. And as we know, this will have an impact not only on the trade changes, but as well on the consumer change. And this is very important to understand all these changes, to see how SADAFCO adapts to this new reality, but mostly how we serve our consumers exactly on the areas and places that they wanted, but at the same time as well to provide the products that it's linked to their needs and their trends. So if you watch, there's huge change because there's a huge ambitions for the country to diversify their economy and not to be as much dependent on oil. And that is definitely a huge impact on the way the families are organized, the way the labor force is being structured, and at the same time, many decisions are being taken that has an impact on the retail companies that at the end of the day has an impact on the suppliers that SADAFCO is one of them. So we need to understand these trends and how the dynamic of the market. So if you analyzing this and being a strong player on the dairy business, so we need to understand what is the purpose of the modern trade channels and how the modern trade channels serve the consumers and how the shoppers behave in this channel works. How is the customer is focused as well to transform their business for the future and to adapt to all these changes that is happening in the country. So you need to understand that part. And then you need to see how you bring value to the customer, but at the end of the day, how you serve the best you can the consumer. So we always need to understand that we serve the consumer with our products and our brands. We try to link our products to the insights and the mindset of the consumer, but we need to work with the customer. Customer is our partner to drive our ambitions for the future in order that we can serve the best our consumers. So modern trade has a role here. So when we are discussing on the modern trade and how we can bring the value proposal of our products, that we need to work with the customers and really have a strong understanding on how the customer is operating, what is their consumers, what is their strategy, because they want to generate traffic, they want to grow as well their business, and how can SADAFCO bring value to their strategy. So after when you have this well defined, then you work with the customer to see how we serve the consumer. So this is where you link to how your product is positioned in the outlets, how you managing your shelf, how you position your visibility, and how you conduct the consumer to your product. Because one thing is, on the consumer point of view, there's the brand perspective, and that we work very closely with the consumers with all the marketing activities and trade marketing activities to try to create the dynamic of our products in the outlet. But it's very important that the last decision is always at point of sales.
Right.
That is the key. You can work in all of this, but you miss that part, then that call to actions to the consumers to buy your product can fail after. So you need to understand the whole process to gain the consumer. So if you have a very focus on service approach, and you know that your focus is how to deliver the best service, the best products at the right time to the consumer, then you need to work on the point of sales. So this is where it's very key for us, the modern trade, because modern trade as well is a way you expose better your products, because it's a more structured store with more lights. It has an impact, the environment that they create, because they are very shopper oriented as well. They want to give an experience to the shopper using as well our products to create that kind of experience. So remember that modern trade is more a plant shop. So this is where you need to win on that channel. Now, why it's important is when you go to traditional trade, it's an unplanned shop. So if people are get used to buy your product, modern trade, when they go to traditional trade, it's not a planned shop. So that means they just pick what they are used to buy.
Right.
And that decision, what they are used to buy, is on the modern trade. So this is why that's when you start to analyzing that, how you behave for different channels, how you approach different channels, you need to take all of this in consideration. And this is why that you integrate the full strategy and how you focus, because everybody said availability, visibility, it's a key. It is key,
yeah.
But how you make this happen and how your products behave in the different channels. So you need to understand all these points. Now, talking about emergent countries, that you all know emergent countries are changing very fast. You know, if you go to Europe, it's very mature. So there's changings, but there's very small changes happening. So it's very easy to predict. But emergent countries, things can change in 3-6 months. Saudi Arabia is exactly what is happening here. They are changing very quickly.
Right.
Now the challenge is how you adapt, how you grab the opportunities in order that you can win. So this is the challenge not only in SADAFCO, for the whole FMCG companies. So we are being challenged permanently. So this is how you need to think all the time. I have the right strategy for this new reality. You have the right organization. How you approach the consumers, how you gain the attraction of your product to the consumers, how your customers drive your strategy to the consumers, and how you bring value to the customers. So all of this needs to be part of the equation when we are analyzing what is the best strategy, and always focus what is needed today, but mostly what will be needed in the future. So you can start to prepare. So all these questions is one of the topics when we discuss in terms of what we're going to do, what should be the best strategy, how you serve the best the consumer. All of this is in our discussion.
That's really interesting to know. So I have another question around how SADAFCO manages the quality and freshness of products, because the weather conditions in KSA is very hot. So in these extreme weather conditions, how do you manage the quality and freshness?
So first of all, SADAFCO so when we talk about dairy, there is a very large category. So SADAFCO is on the milk drink category. So we are on the UHT long life milk. So that means that we have our product maintains as a shelf life for 3 months. So that means allow us that we can maintain our freshness and quality of the product. Because one of the big points of SADAFCO is something that it's non-negotiable, is quality. And this was one of the big strengths of SADAFCO, that all these years we always focus to provide the best quality of our products to our consumers. So this is still part, and it still maintains part of the core of the company, that we don't negotiable on this one. But at the same time, we want to give the most freshness products to the market. That goes to how we work on the value chain and how we produce linked to the demands that we forecast, and how we drive our products that's to maintain as much fresh as possible at the shelf level. So this is where sales team in the field, they are permanently watching our expired products, how much is our shelf life in the market, because we are committing to our consumers to give them the best product at the most fresh possible. But at the same time, being in UHT milk, we can provide a very sustainable quality for a long period. So that changed as well our approach to the market and our, as we can say, the go-to-market, because we managing with a more bigger period of shelf life. And if you are talking about the fresh milk, that has a very small period, that normally is 7 days, that needs to generate that kind of freshness permanently. In the UHT milk, you have more space to work. That more space allows you to provide the best service. That allows you as well to maintain the freshness of your product. Because what we want at the end of the day is our consumers have the right experience when they drink our milk. And at the end, they are the persons that needs to judge us if everything we are doing is linked to what they need. And we are the market leader on the UHT milk, so that means we are able to answer the needs of our consumers. But this is something that needs to continue to be built permanently. So it's not something that we are just, relaxed and says we are providing all of this. We are being challenged every day because the consumers are changing as well. So we need to follow that trend. So this is where we focus on the service part, we focus on quality of our product, but how the brand touch the consumers. So there's an emotional link with the brand to the consumers, but as well to drive a certain needs and the importance of milk for the healthy part, the nutritional part. So we take all of this in consideration when we are discussing our strategies linked to the consumers.
That's really interesting to know. So I would like to know more about the sales and distribution strategies of SADAFCO. Does this, the weather conditions and the emerging market, the younger generation that we talked about, are you adapting to some newer sales and distribution strategies?
So if you start, and I, again, watching a little bit the Saudi markets and knowing that the transformation is happening in the country, first of all, that I believe the success of the future, of the business models we can put in place, is to have the capability to disrupt permanently the business. So it means that even if you have today a very solid distribution approach, a very solid sales strategy, that can change in 3-6 months. The point is, are you willing to adapt? Are you willing to change fast? So the point is, for me, it's how do you bring a most agile organization that to be as much flexible as possible so you can adapt very fast. Because at the end of the day, we compete with other companies, but we serve the same consumers. If this consumers is changing and these habits are changing, and if they are changing as well through the channels, so how you approach that change on your sales strategy? So for us, it's linked to be brilliant at the basics, because we are providing a service with a very strong brand equity that we have a huge responsibility to that. Selling SADAFCO products, it's a huge responsibility for the power of the brand for all these years and how important is these products to the Saudi consumers. So we have that responsibility. We have the heritage of the history that we need to continue to develop and grow and continue to be a success company that our previous people who's been working on that have built on that. So we have that commitment, we have that focus. Now, knowing this one, so how you project basing on these changes, how you analyzing the change of the market, how you see that you can serve the best you can the consumer. So this is where it comes the right sales strategy. So again, it comes to the fact that we want to be as much efficient that we can be. We want to optimize as much our resources so we can generate the best service to our consumers. At the same time, to be the best partner to our customers, because we serve consumers through our customers. So that links to how we organize ourselves to drive operations at the ground, at the field level. And this is where it's linked to the fact that people, because people are the one who makes the difference and are the one that creates that kinds of things to the market. And if you don't think about people, then you can have a very nice strategy, but it will not be executed as the way it should be.
Correct.
And the market will judge you very quickly after. So this is the fact that when you are putting a new organizations or a new business model that needs to be able to disrupt by himself, that is linked to the fact that what kinds of ecosystem you're going to integrate it to generate that kinds of capability of the adaptations and the resilience of the team to change permanently. Human behaviors normally doesn't like changes, right? So there's all this blocking situation here. So, but if you create the normal disruption as the DNA of the organization, that means that you can react very fast to the market. So this is what we are doing in SADAFCO. We are moving on that directions because the country is as well demanding this one and the consumer are demanding this one. And now knowing that the population of Saudi Arabia is very young, that means we need to answer the needs of the young generation, that they are more and more volatile. You know, they are less loyal and they change very quickly. So how you continues to provide your products and continues to be on the top of mind or their purchasing. So this is the big challenge that we work in SADAFCO, and this is how we project the future.
Okay, great. So Shrikanth, my next question is for you. SADAFCO recently started the digital transformation journey with Bizom. So what propelled you to select Bizom as your partner?
A good question. But let me just zoom out a bit before I answer that specific question. See, the aspirations of the SADAFCO business in terms of our longer term goals and objectives are captured within the SADAFCO Vision 2030. Now that has been put forward by our CEO Patrick, and you know it's a very well drafted, very rounded aspiration that we are going towards. That's a combination of top line growth, profitability in terms of our ESG credentials, in terms of our market share. So it's quite a broad ranging vision. So clearly there are a number of activities, initiatives that have to be undertaken across the company to hit that vision, right? And I think specifically in that response to achieving this vision, I think the role of technology and I think specifically the digital opportunities I think has been very well recognized. So I think so so digital is a very integral part and a key success factor I think for the overall success of this vision. So it's in that context that we set out our digital transformation map. And that is covering a number of things. So it's not, it's going to touch every part of the business, whether it's the core functions like supply chain, in our manufacturing operations, in sales, but also let's say some of the other enabling functions, whether it's internal audit, etc. So we are trying to bring the digital opportunities to all parts of the business. And of course, the depth through which you will go, whether you are just going to digitize one step whether you're going to digitalize a series of steps to make it a process, or you go for a complete transformation. That decision of how fast and how deep to go, that is all part of the plan that we have. So that is how we have the business vision. We have a program of activities that are there. So then coming back to your question specifically on Bizom, clearly the sales turnover is a very big part of our vision. So we recognize that we really need to up our game as we try to respond to all the challenges that Diogo talked about in terms of the market and stuff. But how do we actually, from a technology side, do that? See, currently we have a system that is used for our sales operations. It's been running for about 5-6 years now. It's fairly well established and it's well understood. But I think when we looked at the future and how we do it, a key consideration for trying to change our systems was two things. One was, okay, it has to be scalable. Whatever we pick, it has to go with the business. Yes, we have a vision to 2030, but there's an incremental path that we have to. So the system, the tools that we have should grow with the business, with the scalability. And the second one is we wanted a partner. I mean, it was not a vendor that we were really looking for. I think we are looking for a partnership, a company which has a business instinct, has a good track record in the emerging markets in terms of their industry of FMCG, with dairy, etc. So we were looking for a number of hard and soft factors. After a very thorough exercise, Bizom was selected for all the reasons that I have stated. I think we see that the drive, the instinct. When we talk, yes, there's a confidence in the product that you have, but that is not the main thing. You are selling us a much bigger. You are part of the vision and taking us with that. And also particularly, I think I was quite impressed with the willingness of Bizom to learn and on the journey with us. Yes, it's a good product, but are there gaps? Absolutely. But I mean, are you guys open to with an open mind looking at it and relying on expertise from Diogo and his team, depending from technology? So that willingness to work with us, humility to accept that there are deficiencies, but trying to work with us jointly to work with us. So there's a number of reasons why we've picked Bizom, and thus far we've not had any reason to regret it. But of course, we still have to deliver this whole program. Right. So that's the response.
So Diogo, for you, what was the value that Bizom brought to the table? Were you just looking to streamline the sales and distribution processes, or you were looking to explore further more opportunities like the retail intelligence part of the sales processes?
So link as well what she was saying. It's, first of all, we were trying to focus to find the right partner to go with our journey with us. This is not just focus on one-time projects that after finish, Bizom will not be part anymore with the SADAFCO long-term visions. It's linked to a partner that we have chosen, that we go along and grow with us in the business, because it's an evolution permanently. So yes, we first of all we need to bring the right foundations and drive the consolidated steps that we want to do linked to the distributions and the way we want to managing the distribution in the field, and that is linked to bring the right efficiencies and links as well to spend more quality time with the customers, driving the customer experience, and focus as well our team to generate added value to our partners, our customers. And this is part of the distribution strategy that we want to put, maintaining our strengths that we have today and leverage that strengths, but upgrade basing on the customers-driven operations that we want to reach, but in a very efficient and optimized way. So Bizom's answered us with solutions linked to that, but we don't want only to stay on that level. And this is kind of what you said, the retail intelligence. We're going to going more beyond the normal routines and driving the day-to-day our team in the field. We want to go more to start to be more data-centric and start to analyzing more the behavior of our products in the shelves, the behavior of our consumers, and be able to project what is the predictions linked to the partner patterns and the repetition things that allows us to start to anticipate the reality of the market. This allows us to adapt very fast, but allows us to be more and more inside the knowledge and bringing the right insights of the data that can provide. Data will give us as well to optimize our decisions, but to speed on the execution, because we can generating faster our actions, because data will provide the right information to analyze things and take a decision after that. So that combination of two is very key for us, and Bizom was answering our needs, and it was fitting very well in our long-term strategy, because it's not just providing the technology to feed our business model, it's more to understanding where SADAFCO wants to go and how technology of Bizom can serve that strategy. So this was the main topics when we was trying to decide to bring a partner to this journey. And why I emphasize a lot journey, because it's definitely a journey, and a journey never stops. So we need a partner to understand more and more our business, to bring value to our needs and our strategy. So it's not just a provider that just delivering what we are requesting, but as well a partner that is challenges as well and bring their experience on FMCG world, that we can start see things in different perspective, and that kinds of perspectives where we can generate more added value to our business. So it's a combination of many factors that allows us to be comfortable to have Bizom with us and to help us to drive the business for the future.
Diogo, do you think the buyer experience is going to be improved or changed with the digital transformation?
Yes, definitely. So first of all, when we talk about digital transformation, is a very macro word. So behind the digital transformation, there's a lots of things inside the digital transformation. So first of all, as she was addressing this, that digital transformation only makes sense if definitely brings value to the business, right? So the first things that we need to understand is how, first of all, what we want to achieve, and then try to find the solutions to achieve our plans. So digital transformation definitely gives the speed, the right capabilities to take the right decisions, and at the same time to bring the costs at a more efficient way, and to drive as well data in a more execution on decisions making. So why? Because we need to be fast. The reality is very low on taking decisions and very low to react. The consumers will not accept that one. And the young generation, as you know, they want things for today, but in 10 minutes. So that means that how you serve this one, how you serve that needs and that focus that the consumer wants to, and they are not willing to give up on this one. So we need to be prepared on that. So the digital transformation or the digital, it's key because technology plays a role on this one. But we need to understand that it's not a digital transformation, it's not a pure system driven project. It's more a tool to provide the best environment to the team can provide the best execution at the field and give us a high support to the business to be able to react and answer to the new reality. So that is where digital transformation plays a role. It's very strategic, yes, but it can't be just seen linked to the technology. It needs to be seen on the whole value chain and how it brings value. And this is why when you are talking about digital transformation, you need to spend time to say what technology you want to bring to the business. And you need to understand that technology that you choose is definitely the one that provides the service that you need to execute what you want to do in terms of the new business model you want to implement. So this needs to be on the discussion when you take these kinds of decisions. And after you have that and you are confident with the technology you are bringing to the company, then the rest is more to drive the projects, to execute. And for that you need as well a strong partner that have a very service provider mindset as well, and be able to help us on the learning process, because we are all learning. So we need to accept that one. There will be mistakes. We're going to learn with the mistakes. But if there's no learning, it's not evolution. And if there's not evolution, we can't continue to be a success company that have been for the last 15 years.
That's really interesting, Diogo. So I would like to know, are there any plans and strategies to upskill the sales and distribution teams to maximize the potential of digital transformation?
We are bringing a new business model to SADAFCO, and that new business model requires new capabilities.
Yeah.
And this is always the big question, is that how you transitions to a different approach to the markets, linked to a technology that provides the speed that you need at the most efficient way. So the point is, again, that to drive this one, then after that is the team. Now the team, it's required now different capabilities that was not needed in the past. So there's a commitment on the company to develop that capability. So this project runs in parallel with what we call the Sales Academy, because definitely we know that there's a need to develop certain capabilities. So there was a lot of review on what is the right competences for the future. Do the competence that we have today fits what is needed for the future? So we are reviewing all of this and changing this part. At the same time, we are analyzing our team and says where is the priorities that we need to develop faster, where is the areas that definitely there's a concerns that we need to focus more. So we are investing in training, we are investing in developing the team, but at the same time we are very open to bring young people, bringing the energy, the technical mindset of this team to balance the expertise that we have in the structure and create a more dynamic team to generating the new changes that we want to do for the future. So it's like digital transformation can't be just seen isolated, needs to be seen as a very broad approach that we want to do to the market, linking with the ambitions of the company and with the objective that we set for 2030. So all of this needs to feed in the same direction. So there's lots of things happening apart from the digital transformation. So it's not only digital, it's a completely sales transformation that we are doing, and digital plays a role on this one as well. But developing the team, projecting the team for the future, review many way how we are working today and how we shift to new ways of working, and give time to people to adapt. That is very key. So because all these changes that we are doing, but we need to continue to live in the numbers. We need to continue to do the commitment of the company to grow in a sustainable way. So all of this, it can't stop. So we can't just park the boat, fix the boats and continue the race. We need to do all these changes and still be in the race and winning at the same time. So that is the complexity of all of this. So this is why we have a very structured plan linked to all of this, and we are analyzing as well, because in sales it's all links to performance. So everything is linked to KPIs. So we have all the KPIs on all of this, what we measure, where we are, what is the gap, what is the actions, how are we going to cover that. And we link all of this to drive the digital transformation or the sales transformations that we want to do.
That's a really well thought out plan for the transformation. Shrikanth, I'm eager to know, in your journey of driving this digital transformation, are there any setbacks Are there any lessons that you have learned from those setbacks?
I think so far, thankfully, there's been no setbacks, though we could argue that we only started the journey. But I think there are clearly some watch outs, some hurdles that we have to overcome to remain on that path to success. And for me, it's capability, exactly what Diego talked about, because he talked about it in the sense of the sales function directly. But for me, it's a much more pervasive challenge that we have to embrace. And this is to build the capability across the company. And when I talk about capability, it's both hard skills and soft skills, right? So yes, we need to know how to program, we need to know things like project management, we need to know how to do risk assessments, etc. So there's the hard skills that are there. But for the success, this has to be complemented with the soft skills. So I'm talking about change management, and looking at how impact of job descriptions, how are we going to go and negotiate with people. So there's a very wide-ranging capability that is required to lift all the boats, right? So that's a huge watch out for us as a company on capability. But specifically in IT, which is the team that I head. In addition to the capability, I think because we've been quite successful, we have a very good team. They have been supporting the systems that have been running for many years now. But as we shift, there is a need to trust those people who are there in the team, but to work with them and support them to raise that capability. So there is clearly an IT team is part of the full spectrum. But also from a technology side, let's say something that I have to overcome is the legacy setup. We have existing systems that have been running. Some of them are very old, some of them are less old. But as we embrace these digital technologies, the reality is there is going to be a coexistence of the legacy setup with the new. So the old and the new have to coexist for a period of time. So that requires a lot of grappling with complexity. How do I run this interface? How do I how do I sunset the system with the new stuff? So there's a lot of active planning that is required as we grapple with this. See, the thing is, it's a bit foolish to think, okay, in 2 years it will be done, because Diego said it's a journey. Okay, we will have the next wave of transformation. So I think it is getting into that recursive cycle of having that capability and keep constantly evolving. So I guess there's the baggage I have to deal with, but so again, that's going to require investment that will need to go in as we adjust it. But a big part of the investment will be on training and capability building.
So it's really great to know how you are overcoming the common struggles, the hurdles that you have mentioned, and looking forward for the bright future. Shrikanth, my next question is to you. Balancing the rich tradition of dairy and the cutting-edge technology can be challenging. So how do you ensure the technology enhancements respects the company heritage?
See, we have to remember, SADAFCO is a very successful company. It has it's been running, it's close to 50 years now. Our 50th anniversary is imminent. Very successful company. They've had a very good track record of delivering strong results and stuff. Okay, so there is that perception is out there, and it's backed with all the facts that are out there. So clearly, we've been doing things which are right. And which led to the success of the company. But as we bring in the digital transformation journey, which is going to challenge the ways of working, I think we just have to be quite open about looking at this in a very structured way, and quite possibly many of the things we are doing will continue, but we need to relook at other things to see how they fit. So we have to find that right balance of what we keep and what we need to adjust. But my going in position is, okay, it's very easy to look back and say it's bad, it shouldn't have been that way. We have the benefit of the hindsight. So my own instinct is, okay, I accept that things were probably done in a certain way because of a good reason. Okay, maybe that reason is no longer valid, but when it was put in, it was for a good reason. So I think it is very important that we trust the people we have in the company as we try to marry the rich tradition and culture of the company with the new opportunities that are there. So trust is one of the very core of our values that the company is now working towards. So that trust will come to the fore, and this is where we'll have to work with our colleagues in all the departments and to take them on this journey. So I talked previously about the capability building and trying to prepare our people as they get ready for some of this. So they're looking at the change management aspect, training, the upgrade of the brainware, so to say. So we'll have to look at it very carefully, and we are starting to do that. So when we have, for example, a project that is set out, even a project like the one we're doing with Bizom on game changers, yes, there's technical tracks of our deliverables. Yes, we have to hit deadlines, we have to do the testing, we have to do, but matching that and almost underpinning that is this whole change management aspects of trying to get people trained up and getting ready for this one. So these two have to coexist for the collective success. So that's how we are going to approach this to deliver the commitments that we have made to the business.
That's great. Shrikanth, thanks for answering that. Now this brings us to our last segment, and that's the rapid fire. Okay, so what are the two must-have qualities that a IT leader need to have?
For me, first is business first instinct. Okay, there is a contribution you have as an IT leader, but business always comes first. So that is a very important attribute. The second one for me is having good communication skills and to be able to articulate your point of view to different stakeholders, and whether they are senior people, mid-management or project people. So comms is a very vital ingredient for success in IT leadership.
Okay, nice. My last question, complete the sentence. Digital transformation is
here, so just embrace it.
Okay, thanks Shrikanth for answering that. Diogo, we will now move to you. My first question is, what is your pro tip for an emerging sales leader?
So for the emergent sales leader, for me, is to create the right environments that the team can succeed. At the same time is the proximity with the team, and most important as well, proximity to the market. That should be the three main ingredients that the sales leader needs to drive in.
Okay. Nice. Name two qualities that every salesman should have.
So one is clear the customer focus that it's needed. I believe strategic analytics needs to be part as well on the qualities of the sales team. We are going on a digital transformation, so digital driven and innovations mindsets needs to be part, and problem solving and accountability. That should be the qualities that is expecting for the new sales for the future.
What is a favorite sales quote?
Well, by the way, I have a lot, so this is an issue to answer you. But I think some that I'm very focused on, and this is something that I'm repeatedly addressed this to the team. One is we need to be excellent on execution and to be very consistent on everything we do, but always with a very focus on to continuous improvement. We need to be better every day. So we drive this in a regular basis. So that is something that is the repetitions of the quality of execution and the consistent on everything we do, linked to improve every time. That is what brings us to the best in terms of the role that the sales team needs to manage.
Thank you, Diogo. Thank you, Shrikanth. It was a pleasure talking to you to know how SADAFCO is becoming future ready to march ahead in the KSA market against all odds.